Hi there, I'm Mama Robin. So if you're new here, or Mama Robin, but I've changed it to I can't talk today, Texas Beach Mom. So if you're new here, that's who I am. Welcome, I'm glad you joined us. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, since the last week, I've had so many comments about my videos, my part 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to address some of that. Most of it was positive. Most of the people realized that I was just giving my opinion on some bad channels and some okay channels and some really good channels. And most people realized that it was just my opinion and that they can go watch whatever the hell they want to watch and do what they want to do with it. And in fact, I encourage you to watch those channels so that you can learn from each channel. And if you don't like the bad channels, don't watch them anymore. Like the good one, subscribe, whatever. It's up to you. I'm just presenting facts. So I had a few negative comments. And some of them that were negative, I went ahead and left them up. As long as they weren't personally attacking me, they just didn't like the way I do things or they think I'm wrong, which, again, they're entitled to their opinion. If they just thought I was wrong, I let it stay up there. The only ones I deleted were commenting not only on the channel, but me as a person. And I deleted those. When I set it out to do this, I knew I was going to get negative feedback. I was expecting that. And again, as long as it's about the channel or what I've discussed and that you're not hateful or mean, good. I'd rather just be more of a discussion. If I had enough subscribers to go live, I would go live about once a week. And we would have discussions. But I don't have enough subscribers for that. So I post videos and then I invite people to make comments and they can say what they want to say. Again, if you're going to be negative, at least be classy about it. Don't come at me directly. I'm not bothering these people directly. I just gave my opinion. But while I'm giving my opinion, I discovered, well, I didn't discover, I said this wrong. I rediscovered a channel that I discovered a long time ago. It's called The Footsteps of Murder. And I remember watching some of their videos in the past, but I decided to rewatch them over Memorial Day weekend. And what it is, this might be a bit much for some people. Some people might not want to do this. It's a 19-part series on the Chris Watts case. And each part lasts about 45 minutes. Because she literally starts with 2017, the beginning of 2017, and she works her way not just to the murder, but a little bit beyond the murders. And she gives every detail you can think of. She discusses things that I had heard from other people, but wasn't that sure about. She covers every. So if you want a good in-depth study on the Watts case, go to Footsteps of Murder. Footsteps of Murder. I do believe the name of it is. I think so. But it is. It's 19 parts, and they're all about 45 minutes apiece. So you really have to want to be into this. Or if you just want to watch a few of them, go watch a few. But I do recommend you at least start with the first one and kind of get a feel for it. And kind of, I think she does a phenomenal job. She is detailed. Like the videos, everything she does in her 19 part is so detailed. She put so much work into this. And I assume it's a she by the voice, but I'm not 100% sure. So I really hate seeing she, but they, whatever. It might be, though. Sounds like it. And she's very clear on what's her opinion and what's fact, what's fiction. I mean, she's very clear. But this is a deep dive. This makes anybody's deep dive look like a 30-minute video clip. She also not only deep dives, she covers the facts about Shanann without blaming Shanann or without bashing Shanann. She's very classy in how she chooses to do this. So, Footsteps of Murder, please go watch. If you really want some details other people may not have, this is why I get frustrated when some people, including Kelly at WTO, say things like, well, I know it better than anybody else. No, you don't. I said that in my last video. No, you don't. But, so I recommend go see Footsteps of Murder. I also recommend that even if you haven't watched any of the Beyond Criminal Minds with him, there was a good one put out last week. It's actually about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie. But from that, he goes into all the things about narcissists. And he does an excellent job at covering narcissists. So, if you want more details about how narcissists work so that some of my explanations make sense, please, by all means, go see Beyond Criminal Minds. Because while I said his most recent video is technically about Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie, he covers narcissism very, 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 very. He makes it in a way that you're like, oh, I get it now. And you can kind of take some of what Brian Laundrie was about and you can put it with Chris Watts. Kind of like I can take some of Chris Watts and put it to my ex. Very scary stuff if you put it in the right perspective. But so Footsteps of Murder, it's got a 19-part one that's amazing. Behind Criminal Minds, I mentioned him before. He does a great job, but he really delves into narcissism. Another one that I forgot about is We Need Ice. I think she's fairly new. She's been doing this longer than I have, but she's still fairly new. I don't know how many subscribers she's got. I didn't check. She covers it pretty good. And then there's Day for Justice podcast. Right now she's doing a lot on the Sebastian Rogers case. So if you want to know more about that case, I would suggest her. Or, I mean, she does have a playlist of Chris Watts stuff. But right now she's like kind of focused on Sebastian Rogers. But she does a very good job. That's the only ones I can think of that are new. That need like some sort of comment on. Or not, they're not new. They're recently watched. Like I said, I remember watching the Footsteps of Murder before. And I watched all 19 parts. But then I went back and I watched all 19 parts over Memorial Day weekend. I can't get comfortable, sorry. So I watched all 19 parts over Memorial Day weekend, which is basically taking the Discovery and putting it, a detailed version of the Discovery and putting it in video form. And she covers stuff, I think, if I remember, and I'm basing on everything I watched, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm reasonably sure she covers stuff that you may have never heard from anybody. So I strongly recommend it. And for all those channels that like to say bad things about Shanann, not that they would go watch this, but even if they would, they probably would argue with it anyway. But I really feel like they would learn more if they really want to learn. Or in the cases of like ATS, where she's done a pretty good job. But again, I think she would get more and learn more from Footsteps of Murder. I cannot applaud these enough. I think these are freaking amazing. I think she did a phenomenal job. And again, if 19 parts at 45 minutes apart is too much for you, then don't watch it, but at least watch the first couple. I've been binge-watched it over the Memorial Day weekend. And boy, some of the stuff I was reminded from a long time ago, some of the stuff was new. And it made me do a lot of thinking. But yeah, that's where I wanted to touch base at. I had a lot more thoughts, but based on the comments, I'm kind of not sure why I want to go today, but I did want to put a video up today because I'm trying to make myself do one every Wednesday. Even if I don't have a lot, I want to get something going on a regular basis that people can count on. Oh, crap. I have so much I wanted to go over. I covered the comments. Some of the comments that I got were things like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a stupid old lady. Okay, well, that's fine. Maybe I am a stupid old lady. I don't know. I don't consider myself a stupid old lady, but they have the right to that opinion. Just like I think Meredith's 2 cents is mean. If they want to believe I'm an old lady, that's fine. That's a stupid old lady. That's great. I'm not afraid of their words. You know what I mean? Some of these people got very defensive, and they treated it like I picked on their favorite actor or something, their favorite movie. Well, why are you picking on Kelly? Kelly always presents facts. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. I have cut her a lot of slack, and I have said that she presents a lot of good stuff, and she doesn't say a lot of the negative stuff herself, but she does let people on her panel say negative things, and she doesn't usually correct them. Matter of fact, in some cases, she puts little hearts on their comments. So, that seems to encourage people then. Boy, I wish I could get enough subscribers to go live. That would be so cool. Because I think I can cover more and I can get people to interact with me. Whereas right now, like I said, I do a video, I post it, and then you can interact in the comments. Interact all you want. If you disagree with me, that's fine, but be polite. If you disagree with other commenters, that's fine, but be polite. No reason to be mean to other people or be hateful to other people. It's not necessary. I had so much on my mind. What I think I'm going to do, I'm not going to make this video last a lot longer, probably another 10 minutes. But what I think I'm going to do in this video and going forward, unless people have suggestions, one person says that about covering Mike Miller. I've watched a few videos on that, but I really haven't done a deep dive into it. And I don't typically cover cases as much as I cover aspects of the case, or I talk about the channels that present the cases, whether it's a good channel, bad channel, an in-between channel, whatever. But here we go. I thought I would start with some very basic things that I've seen Shanann picked on for. And I'm going to cover some of the more basic stuff, and then we're going to get into the deeper stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to continue with right now, about the next 10 or 15 minutes. One of the comments one of the videos I've seen, and it was by Meredith's 2 cents, but one of the videos I've seen, I guess she picks about her nails and her hair, and she spends too much money doing this, and she spends too much money doing that. And it's really not any of Meredith's business, but when you put yourself on the internet, you kind of make it other people's business. And I wouldn't mind it so much if the nails and hair and whatever was pertinent to the case, which is her death. But it's not pertinent. But however, I'm going to tackle some of these. We'll go with easy. We'll start with the simple ones. One of her complaints is Shanann spends too much money getting her nails done. She's already been bankrupt once before. She was heading to bankruptcy once again, so she spends too much money getting her nails done. Well, I do agree to a point that if you are struggling to make ends meet, getting your nails done is probably not a top priority. But because she was on Facebook so much trying to sell her product, I kind of get where she's coming from. But let me ask you something, to anybody listening or to Meredith directly. How do you know that she was getting done professionally? I mean, chances are she was. I got that. But how do you know this? Do you know this? Were you there? Did you do them for her? Seriously. A good set of press-on nails, if you use the little tabs, you can usually get them to last a few hours. And if you use the glue, can last a few days. We don't know that she wasn't putting on press-on nails before being on camera. We don't know that she didn't do that. I mean, she had a mess of makeup and hair care and skin products and whatever. We don't know that she wasn't putting on fake nails. She probably wasn't. She was probably going to the salon, but she might have been putting on fake nails. So before we chastise her and criticize her for having beautiful nails on every camera experience, let's stop and think that you can buy really nice press-on nails with the accent nail that Meredith makes fun of. I do them. I use them sometimes. I have wigs I use. I'm not wearing one now, obviously. But I do have wigs I wear. I wear press-on nails. I wear false eyelashes. So we don't know that she was spending that much money. And not every place charges a lot of money. Sometimes you can get really good rates at some of these places. Sometimes they have specials. She might have been waiting to a special. I mean, I don't know. I do agree to a point that if you are having trouble with making your bills, maybe you shouldn't spend so much money on nails. But I also think the nails didn't break the bank. And accumulation, yes, maybe. And I also don't think that nails is why she was killed. I mean, there was comments about her hair, which I can't really get into. Comments about her cleavage, which, again, has nothing to do with why she died. Meredith tries to make it sound like, well, if she didn't show so much cleavage of the mind, he might not have been so jealous. That's not how that works. I mean, that literally is not how that works. Good Lord, woman. She talked about, that was the smaller stuff she talked about. She did talk about the fact that kids were on camera too much, and that part I agree with. That part I do agree with. I do think she put them on too often. I know why she did it. I get it. She was trying to show a good family life. So I do think she put them on too much. But as I've said in my comments, and I think I've said in other videos, had Shanann been given a chance to live longer, she could have grown, she could have learned, she could have developed better habits, and she might have realized that the bride was costing her more money than she was making, if that was the case. Somebody else pointed out, I'm trying to remember exactly what they said. I can't remember it now. I wish I'd wrote some of these down, but I didn't. I'm going to be honest, I should have, and I didn't. If it pops up before I'm done, I'll bring it up. That Chris Watts was a pussy. Everybody knows he was a pussy. He would have never killed her because he was too pussified to kill her. Again, that's not how it works. And here's my other point to this. Let's examine that for just a minute. Chris Watts is a pussy. That's how he appeared on camera. He appeared as a pushover on camera. We don't know what he was like off camera. Like, we have no idea what he was like off camera. And that might have been why she was talking to a divorce attorney before all the shit went down. You know, she was already talking to one and trying to figure out custody and this and that and the other. She had a reason for asking. So we don't know what he was like off camera. We know on camera he presented as a pussy, but maybe off camera he wasn't. Because, and I'm going to tell you this, and you can listen to me, don't listen to me, believe me, don't believe me. The more I study Chris Watts, the more I think of my ex, which is partly why I started doing these. But we don't know what he was like off camera. And let me tell you something. I was married to mine for 11 years. And in 11 years, the people that didn't know us well, the people that didn't know us, that just socialized with us, always thought my ex and I were an amazing couple. They even made comments to me, not to him, to me, on how lucky I was that I had such a wonderful, loving husband. And in the beginning, I believed it. Like, I was like, yeah, I know, I'm lucky, I'm grateful, thank you. And closer to the end, I was like, you only know. When he would go into his narcissistic rages. See, he was a narcissist. As a matter of fact, he was diagnosed as a malignant narcissist. And some people believe that Chris is a covert narcissist. Some people believe he's malignant. And some people believe he might be a covert malignant narcissist, which is a nifty little combo. Mine was malignant. And they're supposed to be the more dangerous types. They're supposed to be some of the most dangerous people out there. Because they have all the narcissism, but they also have psychopath tendencies too. And the first time that my husband pulled a gun on me was the last time he put a gun on me because I was gone. When I finally got away from him, when I finally talked him down and finally got away from him, I was gone. I hightailed it, and then I stayed away from him. I moved, got away from him, stayed away from him, and then I moved about 3 hours away from him, trying to put more physical distance between him and I. But that's not really here or there at the moment. I can get into that another time if people want me to. But right now, it does. It makes me think of Chris Watts. We don't know what he was like off camera. We don't know if he was a pussy. He looked like one. Mine looked kind of like a pussy, too, when he was around people he didn't know. And people, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. And then, eventually, he would start showing his true colors to the people he hung up with the most. And they'd be like, wait a minute. Maybe she's not so lucky. Or the other thing that Chris used to do is he would lie. He would flat out, Cindy Watts did not like Shanann from the get-go. Anyway, just like my ex-mother-in-law didn't like me from the get-go. However, every time Chris would get upset with Shanann, he would call and cry on probably his mother's shoulder or maybe his father's shoulder. I don't know, but he cried on somebody's shoulder. And 99.9% sure, just based on my own experiences, that he lied about Shanann. He made up stuff just to get his parents on his side and get them away from her. And my ex did it to me. My ex went as far one time. We're ready for this. Strap yourselves in for this one. My ex told people once, friends and family alike, that I hit him with my car and tried to kill him. He went and called the police on me. The police came out. They investigated. They questioned him. They questioned me. They looked at my vehicle that I was driving that day. They kind of looked around and told him, she didn't hit you. Oh, and he's like, oh, yeah, she did. She hit me and she knocked me down. Well, we can't find any proof of it. We've talked to you. We've talked to her. There's no physical proof of you being hit by a car. There's no physical proof of anything happening other than maybe an argument, which she admits to. But he convinced his family that I tried to run him with his car. In fact, his uncle got a hold of me once, called me shortly after it happened, and said, why did you try to run our car? Or why did you try to run him over with a car? And I went, what? That's the first time I heard of it. Other than the police, I didn't know he had told the whole family. I mean, he did call the police on me and they did come out and talk. But it's like the first time I'd heard of it from his family. Like, are you serious? I said, no, I didn't try to run him over. Well, that's what he says. Why would he lie about it? That's part of the discarding and the devaluing. It's that part of those lies is at the end of the devaluing phase and the beginning of the discarding phase. Because they're trying to get people on their side. And so they will lie. They will lie, they will lie, they will lie, they will lie. I never tried to hit that man with a car. Otherwise, I'd probably still be in jail for vehicular assault or some shit. Very serious charges he tried to get me in trouble for. And my kids were no witness to a time that he hit himself. He hit himself. And then tried to tell the police that I did it to him. And they kind of looked at him and they looked at me and they were like, no. We don't believe it. That and the angle of the bruise and where it was placed just don't look right. So a couple times he tried to get me in trouble. A couple times he tried to get me arrested. But my point is, Chris did the same thing to Shanann. Without knowing him personally, and just basing it on what I've seen, and just basing on what I know of narcissists on my own experiences, I'm pretty sure Chris did a lot of the same things to Shanann. So even knowing that that his mom and his sister and his dad didn't like her anyway, he took that information, knowing this, he took it and he ran with it. He was going to make sure that everybody was on his side and nobody would have anything to do with Shanann. Tricky, tricky. Oh, and Nicole Kessinger, good Lord, what a mess. She saw him coming a mile away. That's another thing. On that Footsteps of Murder, she talks about the fact that before Shanann, well, in the beginning of their thing, Shanann's parents lived with them for a while. So he would go to a gym. Well, after they went back home, she bought him gym equipment so he could work out at home. And I believe she knew something was up back then. And I believe it was Nicole Kessinger. And I believe that he met Nicole at the gym. Now, they might have just been friends at the gym. Might have been. But there was some flirting going on, I think. I think this has been lasting a lot longer than Discovery stated. Because there was a part in the Discovery where she Googled Shanann Watts in 2017. And prior to that, he'd been going to the gym. And everybody knows that she was into clean living and, healthy lifestyle, whatever. I think she was going to the gym. I think she met him at the gym. I think she Googled him. I think she Googled Shanann. I know she did. I think she was working for that company and got herself transferred to Anadarko. I do. I think she got herself transferred. And then I think that's when those emails started and stuff like that. But if you watch Footsteps to Murder, you'll get what I'm trying to say, because I may not be remembering it fully right, but you'll get it. You will full on get it. You'll understand. You'll get it. Anyway, so there was, I think, during that time when he went to the gym. And so anyway, her parents moved out. I'm digressing because I'm not feeling real good today. I'm like, I really would rather just lay down. But I wanted to go ahead and get this knocked out. because I want to start trying to do one every Wednesday. At least. I might try to do more often, but I at least want to do every Wednesday. So I want to get this knocked out. But I'm distracted by how badly I feel. I don't got a headache. I just don't feel good in general. Got a little bit of a sore throat, which sucks. But it's not bad. It's down the middle. I hope I'm not coming down sick. Oh, I hate being sick, especially in the summer. But I digress. Because my brain's all over the place. Yeah, I might have to wrap this up. But go watch Footsteps of Murder. Go watch We Need Ice. Go watch JS for Justice podcast. They're all really good. And you're going to learn so much from Footsteps of Murder. Oh, back to what I was saying, because I digressed. Then I'm going to wrap this up. Anyway, he was working at a gym because her parents were living in the basement. So he was working out at the gym. And then after her parents went back home, Shanann bought gym equipment. And I think their flirting started back there at the gym. I think they met each other at the gym. I think that's why she Googled Shanann Watts September 1st, 2017. I think she knew he was married. I think she pursued him anyway. I think she was already working for that company and then got herself transferred to she worked for a company that sent her to Anadarko. So I think she got herself sent to Anadarko so that she could be closer to Chris. And I do believe that's where they really picked up the pace. That's where it really ramped up. But if you watch Footsteps of Murder, you'll get it. Because I'm not doing a very good job today. Like I said, I don't feel very good. But anyway, guys, I wanted to get this dropped. And I wanted to say a lot about her because I really think, again, it's 19 parts and they're about 45 minutes a piece. If you don't want to watch all 19, don't watch all 19. Watch what you want to watch of them. But I think you should owe it to yourself if you want to learn a lot to go check out their, and at least watch the first couple. Binge watch the first couple. You might like them so much you finish them. You might not like them at all. But I think if you really want all the details on Chris and Shanann, I think you should go watch it. I think you're doing yourself a favor. Anyway, I'm getting ready to sign out because, as I've said a couple times, I keep bouncing around. I keep having to come back because I can't concentrate because I don't feel good. It sucks, especially my throat. My throat hurts. If you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Even if you're not a big fan of this video, I'm not your cup of tea, please go ahead and like it anyway, because it helps get my videos out to people that might like them. It'll help get my videos out to people that might get something from them. So, and they are supposed to be purely entertainment and some information and entertainment, because I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor of any kind, I don't play one on TV. I do have 11 years experience. I have studied the Chris Watts case thoroughly. I have watched or read everything I can get my hands on. And it's helped me learn a lot about the man I left. So with all that being said, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share. Please do all those things. It helps my channel grow. And it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. So I hope everybody has a beautiful and blessed day. And Mama Robin loves you.